Imagine you filed your naturalization application months ago. You did everything right. You paid the fee. You went to your biometrics appointment. You even received a notice for your interview. For the first time in years, you let yourself feel hopeful. You picked a date on the calendar. You told your family. You maybe even started practicing the civics questions out loud in the kitchen. Then one morning, you open your USCIS account like you always do, just to check. And the status that once said your interview was scheduled now says something else. It says your case is still being processed. No interview date. No explanation. Just back to pending, like months of progress quietly disappeared overnight. If this happened to you, or to someone in your family, you are not imagining things. And you are not alone. But here is what most people still do not realize. This is not a random glitch in the system. It is not your file getting lost in a drawer somewhere. What is happening right now is tied to a real, agency-wide change inside USCIS, and it is affecting naturalization applicants, green card holders, and even some asylum cases across the country. Let's slow down and explain exactly what is going on, because understanding this could save you weeks of unnecessary stress, and in some cases, help you avoid making a mistake that slows your case down even further. Here's the core of it. USCIS has been rolling out an upgraded, fingerprint-based background check system, connected to the FBI. This is not a small internal update. It is a fundamental change to how security checks are run on immigration applications. And when a system this important changes, the agency does not just apply it going forward. In many cases, it goes back and rechecks files that were already in process, even ones that were close to a decision. That means if your background check was originally submitted before this new system went live, USCIS may need to resubmit and re-verify your fingerprint data under the new process. While that happens, your case status can shift backward. An interview that was scheduled can be paused. A file marked as almost complete can suddenly read as pending again. This is where many people make a mistake. They assume the worst. They assume they did something wrong. They assume there was a red flag on their record, or that their case is being denied. In most situations, that is not what this means at all. This is a procedural pause, not a rejection. Your case is not disappearing. It is being re-verified under a new internal standard. But here's why this still matters to you, even if it is not a denial. Timing. For families planning around a citizenship ceremony. For workers whose job status may be tied to their immigration timeline. For travelers who were hoping to book flights once their status changed. A delay like this can quietly disrupt real, important plans. And USCIS does not always send a clear, individual notice explaining why your status moved backward. Many applicants find out the same way you might have. By checking the online portal and seeing the change for themselves. This is not just a recommendation. In some cases, staying on top of your own case status is the only way you will know something has shifted, because the system update itself was described publicly, but the personal, case-by-case impact often was not. So what should you actually do if this happens to you? First, do not panic, and do not immediately call an attorney demanding answers about a denial, because in most cases, there is no denial. What you are likely experiencing is a background check being reprocessed under the new system. That is a known, documented cause of these status changes right now, not a signal that your case has failed. Second, check your USCIS online account regularly. Not obsessively, but consistently. If your status changes again, from pending back to scheduled, or if a new notice appears, you want to know quickly, so you are not caught off guard by a new interview date with very little preparation time. Third, keep every piece of documentation ready and current. If your case moves back into active review, USCIS may still expect fast responses if they request anything additional from you. This is where a lot of applicants lose valuable time. They wait to gather documents until after they are asked, instead of already having them organized. The moment a request comes in, your response clock starts immediately. It does not wait for you to check your email a week later. Fourth, if you were counting on a specific date, for travel, for a job change, for anything tied to your citizenship timeline, build in flexibility. This is not the moment to book non-refundable plans around an exact naturalization date. Naturalization timelines have already been running longer than they used to, and a background check reset can add extra weeks or even months on top of that. And fifth, if your case has been sitting with no movement for far longer than your local field office's posted processing time, that is when it becomes reasonable to contact USCIS directly, or speak with an immigration attorney about your options. There is a real difference between a temporary, system-wide delay affecting thousands of applicants, and a case that has been individually stuck far beyond a normal timeframe. Knowing which one you are dealing with is important. Let's be clear about something else too. This kind of shift is not unique to you. Field offices across the country, including some of the busiest ones, are dealing with heavier caseloads and slower interview scheduling right now. When you combine a higher volume of applications with a major security system upgrade, delays are almost guaranteed to ripple through the entire process. Understanding that this is a structural issue, not a personal one, can genuinely ease a lot of the fear that comes with seeing your status change unexpectedly. Now let's bring this all together quickly. Your N-400 status moving back to pending does not automatically mean something is wrong with your case. It is most often tied to a background check being reprocessed under an updated, more secure system. Your interview may be paused, not cancelled. You may not receive a clear personal explanation, so checking your account regularly matters more than ever. Any request from USCIS still needs a fast response, even during a system-wide delay. And if your timeline is tied to real-life plans, give yourself room, because this process is currently less predictable than it was even a year ago. If there is one thing to take away from all of this, it is that staying informed is your best protection. Immigration systems change. Processes get updated. Delays happen. But panic rarely helps you, and clear, accurate information almost always does. If you are currently going through this, or if someone close to you, a parent, a spouse, a coworker, is waiting on their naturalization case right now, share this with them. It could save them from days of unnecessary worry. And if you want to stay ahead of changes like this one, changes that quietly affect visas, green cards, naturalization timelines, and travel plans, before they become a bigger problem, make sure you are subscribed. We break these updates down clearly, honestly, and without the panic, so you always know exactly where you stand, and exactly what to do next.